Hey everybody, Insane Mike here from Prescribed Films, Attack of the Killer Podcast, and movie reviews from the Asylum. What are we doing here? Well, this is a whole new thing that I'm starting to do. Like, I don't have enough stuff on my plate. The Prescribed Films video blog. Yes, and this is the first ever premiere episode. It's going to be extremely on the fly kind of deal. Basically, the point of all this is just to keep you guys informed on what's going on in the world of Prescribed Films. So we have a ton of stuff going on. I'm currently editing our newest feature film, Demonica, movie reviews from the Asylum. We're starting to shoot season 3 of that. Tons of stuff going on, and I get asked all the time by people, it's like, you know, how's Demonica coming along? Or when's the new season of movie reviews from the Asylum going to start? Or who the hell are you? And I think this is probably the best way to, like, keep you guys informed and, you know, keep the Prescribed Films name out there. So that's what this whole thing is about. Back a few years ago, we started up a show called Prescribed Films YouTube Magazine, and it kind of tapered off. It was a pretty good show, but it got convoluted in its skits and bits, and became less and less about Prescribed Films and what is going on. So that is what this is. It's just at the rawest it could possibly be. Just a straight up, you know, me, instead of attempting to write out a blog and screwing up all the spelling of every single word, figured I'd do it in a video format. So what's going on in Prescribed Films, you're probably wondering, besides a brand new show, Prescribed Films video blog, there's tons of stuff going on. Like, currently right now I'm waist deep in editing our next feature film, Demonica, which was filmed entirely in a skating rink, so that's pretty BA. Can't wait for that one. The trailer, right now I've actually kind of taken a break from editing the film. I've been concentrating on the trailer, which is just about done. I've got some tweaks to do here and there. I had some bells and whistles, and then that should be done. But not only that, Jason and I started filming season 3 of movie reviews from the Asylum, which is now back on YouTube. If you go to youtube.com/Insane Asylum, then you could check out movie reviews from the Asylum there. We used to be on the Horror Palace Network, horrorpalace.com. The format of that website has changed, so we've kind of gone our separate ways, and we're back on YouTube, and so you can check us out on there. Basically, what I was told by the other members of PF is, like, you can do this video blog thing, but don't, like, add tons of, like, don't, you know, mess with editing and production value and blah blah blah. Just talk. Tell the people what they want to know. Quit with all the stupid little skits and bits and messing with effects and blah blah blah. And don't do an intro. Don't do an intro. So currently what I'm working on right now is the intro for the Prescribed Films video blog. And you've already seen it now because it started off the show, but you know, what I've gone through here is gone through and edited. I wanted to go with, for the intro of it, to be kind of a 70s and 80s cop show kind of mentality. So it's got some money shot clips from some different 80s cop shows, action shows, and then I've spliced my beautiful mug in amongst it as well. and try to really sell it as a as a 80s action show. The song for it is done by my good buddy Dustin Neal, who does his own show, Everything Horrible, which is a really sweet show you need to check out. So that is the start of working on this show, and I promise those out there, it's like, why are you wasting your time editing that and doing that when you should be working on Demonica, blah, blah, blah. I promise you, that is the max energy and effort of editing that I'm putting into this show. Maybe. But beyond that, I'm also currently finishing up editing the rest of season 2 of Movie Reviews from the Asylum. So let's take a look at that here real quick. What I've done is, when we started this show, the concept was for it to be a fun little goofy review show. This is we got the timeline here of the episodes. And when we started doing this show a couple years ago, the concept was to do a fun and goofy movie review show. Originally as kind of an advertisement for our shop in Sane's Asylum, but it took on its own meaning and became something completely different for us, Jason and myself. So even though the shop is now officially gone, we are continuing on with the show. We've had a lot of fun with it, and we've gotten a lot of good responses from it. And what made this show special for us is the fact that we could do this show really fast, extremely cheap, with honestly no real effort other than the fact that we have to set up a camera and talk to it. So, and then just figuring out what movies we're going to talk about. Because what we'll do is we will record a whole season in like 2 days. We'll record a whole bunch of episodes one day, and then a few weeks down the road, then we'll record the rest of the season. With season 2 in particular, we added a kind of a female co-host, and what we did with her, as far as worried about not getting her to be there every time we were going to shoot, we decided to shoot all of her stuff all at once. So anytime things cut back to her or whatever, it's not the same day, which is probably blatantly obvious when you watch the episodes. But I am almost completely done editing season 2. I'm down to the last episode of the season, which is when we review the movie Jaws. So by the time this comes out, I think it would be the next episode if I'm figuring all this out correctly. But shooting is really simple. We just have an amazing backdrop of the shop, which now the shop's gone, so we're having to think of some other things for season 3. So we just set up a camera and then we just talk about different movies. We just have a pile and we just go. We churn these episodes out really quickly, and editing is almost just as quick because I'm not having to do really a lot of editing. I trim stuff up to kind of cut out in some of the mundane moments when we kind of space off, or mostly me just space off. Or if we break character or what have you, we trim that up, and I'll just throw in wipes, or I'll throw in I'll cut back to another shot of the Lucy character, or some kind of stock footage, if you will, of a cutaway to make it fit, seem a little more seamless. Or I'll throw in like a screenshot from the film, or quirky little like editor's notes. That's something new I did a lot more in season 2, where if I need to cut away from the main action, I'll cut to an editor's note, which is usually a whole separate joke. So the writing of this series is completely improv. I usually make a few notes, a few key things to talk about with the episodes. When it comes to Jason and I going, we just go, and we hit those dot points, but most of it's improv. And then it goes through another improv process in the editing when I come up with things like editor's notes and doing different text. as additional jokes to enhance what's going on. I go so far as to keep it as so simple as possible, in that every episode is edited in the same file, which I'm thinking when I start season 3, I'm going to like get rid of this file and just start a whole new file with season 3, because it really feels like I've got, you can see here, I've got way too many clips in here of everything we recorded and additional like things and stuff. So much stuff in here to it's gotten really convoluted, and I kind of worry there's just too much there. So when I start editing season 3, I'm just going to start fresh. But when I'm editing, you know, the first thing I did is I edited the intro by itself, and then every time I edit an episode, I literally move the intro to the next episode, and then start editing from there. And I add in, you know, the Lucy shots from there, and I do the editing, or I add the editor's notes, or add wipes. And even more lazy than that, I also don't do new credits at the end of every episode. What I've done is I typed up a master thing of credits, because nothing changes in the credits except for the music that I put as background over the episodes. So what I do is then I just edit that credit page that has the list of music, just retype up the new song titles and the artist or whatever, and then it's done. So I've even simplified it even that much to where the credits aren't anything new. You know, it's literally the same credits every episode with the exception of the music. So that's movie reviews from the Asylum. The Jaws episode, like I said, is the last one of the season. It has a cliffhanger that leads into the next season. You'll have to stay tuned for that. But it's right there. It's going to be a shorter episode. We didn't talk as much on that one. So it's kind of one of those that it shouldn't take me too long to edit, because it's a lot shorter, and we didn't have as many issues with this one. We were pretty spot on and fluid throughout this whole episode. Probably because we kept it so damn short. But I might add in like some editor notes, jokes, just to kind of stretch it out a little bit, because I kind of worry people are going to be bummed out that it's a shorter episode and then have to wait for a whole new season. But so that wraps up this episode of Prescribed Films video blog. I'm Insane Mike. And what? Oh, I didn't talk about Demonica? Oh, well, all the other PF people out there said, Mike, keep this short and simple, and I've ran out of time. I'm sorry, so blame them, not me. Alright, Demonica, you really want to know what's going on? I mentioned before, I'm hard at work on the trailer. That should be up, I'm hoping, soon. And also, hard at work on editing the film. So, since I didn't show you anything as far as the editing process goes, I will give you a quick little tease. I'll give you guys a couple bloopers that haven't been seen before. So to wrap this up, a couple quick bloopers from Demonica, and we're out. Now we'll talk to you next time.
Any ladies in here that want to jack me off? Oh, that Tim, what a killer. Hey there, Johnny boy. What are you doing? You're just hanging around, right? Hey,
Leave him alone! But he was tied up in here! Wait, none of you seen Monica? Who
the fuck is Monica?
And action.
That's right. Who?
Hell on earth.
Tickles.